Hello, beautiful people. My name is Kathy, traveling with Charity, and I travel with my three dogs, Hope, Faith, and Cassie. And Faith is right there sleeping. Hey, Faith! And today is story day. Yay! Um, it's a good story. But let me just say this, especially for the people that don't know, because a lot of you already know that I am an addict and I have 35 years clean. Um, when I lived in San Francisco, and that's where I got clean actually, I started going to H&I, and H&I stands for hospitals and institutions. So what me and a whole bunch of other people did, we would drive to different prisons, and we would drive to county jails, and then we would also drive to treatment centers to bring meetings and awareness and help them stay clean. So my company moved me to Florida. So I wanted to do the same thing there, go to meetings and do H&I, hospitals and institutions. So I found the person that does it a lot. Everybody was telling me about this person that does it a lot. And there's a story behind that too, but I'm not going to tell it today. But so I started hanging out with her, and we started going to different institutions and no, actually one institution, but a lot of treatment centers. But this one jail, prison, whatever you want to call it, and we went with on the girls' side. And it was just so much fun having the meetings and getting to know new people and seeing them get out of the prison and going, and we would see them at meetings. So that was just like the coolest thing ever, right? So we kept going, and I think I lived in Orlando, Florida for about 4 years, so I'm thinking I did it for at least 3 of those 4 years. And when we continued to go, when we continue to see people come out, girls come out and do the right thing, and some girls come out and do the wrong thing, and then we'd see them coming back into the prison where we were going. And this one particular girl, very, very beautiful. Oh my God. And I'm not going to say her name, but let's call her Wonder Woman, because that's what she looked like. She was so beautiful. White woman, dark black hair, the biggest blue eyes ever. And she was just beautiful for no damn reason, just walking around in beauty. Well, she was getting out, and her circumstances was she lived in Florida for I think 2 years, but the whole time she was in Florida for the 2 years, she was going in and out of the jail. So this time when she was going to get out, she said, I'm just not going to go. I don't even want to stay in Florida. I just want to go and get out. And she was talking about her boyfriend, how he's mad at her, and just a whole bunch of stuff. And so she came up to me and she said, on the side, can you do me a favor? And I gave her the side eye, like, ugh, Lord Jesus, because normally people in prison, the things that they want are money on their books, commissary, and all that good stuff. Don't even ask me how I know. But anyway, she asked me for a favor, and I was like, okay, what is it? What is the favor? Excuse me. And she said, listen, I'm getting out in 2 weeks, and I don't want to be here for 2 weeks. I don't want to be in Orlando when I get out. I want to go straight. And I go, that's not a problem. I'm sure your family and blah, blah, blah can help you out. And her family was rich, and her family just not, they just like written her off. Like, we're not doing it anymore. And her boyfriend's just starting to like say, I'm not doing it anymore either. I ain't sending you any more money. I'm not sending you anything. So she asked me, she says, can you call my boyfriend and tell him that how good I'm doing, and maybe he would, send me some money and everything like that. I said to her, no, at first, because getting involved with family and all that stuff is really not a good idea. I just like to mind my business. How about that? So finally, I guess the next week or so, she convinced me. She really did. She convinced me. Come on. So I says, okay, give me his number. I got his number from her, and now it's like, I want to say maybe a week and a half or a week before she gets out. Because she's like trying everything to just get out of Orlando, Florida, because she knows what she'll get into when she gets into, Orlando, Florida. However, being an addict, a drug addict, it's like you can go on a desert island and find drugs. That's just how we are. But anyway, she convinced me, like I said, and I didn't even call right away. I think I called like a day or so later, and I go, hey, hi, I'm looking for so-and-so. My name is Kathleen, and I know your girlfriend because I go to the prison once a week, blah, blah, blah. I'm giving him all this information, and he's just like, thank you for the call, but I just can't do it anymore. I've been doing it for a long time, and I just can't do it anymore. I can't send any money. I go, let's figure out something, because the truth of the matter is, she's telling me that if she stays in Orlando, she's just going to go back to her old ways, and she just wants to come home. So let's figure something out. And he said, I don't know, give me a call like the next day. And actually, I didn't even call him. He called me, and he was like, okay, this is what we can do. I will send you the money for train station and, food to eat and all that stuff. And if you can get it, you can call me and, give me the time, the day, all that stuff. And, but I want to give the money to you, and I want you to do it. And I said, you know what? Okay, I'll do it. But we had like a week and a half or something like that before, a week and some couple of days or whatever, before she was getting out. So he said that he wasn't going to send me any of the money until like a couple days before or something like that. And I said, okay. So now we have a whole week and a half or a week, whatever, in a couple of days. And I'm still going to the meeting with her, going to the jail. And now he thinks we're friends. So the whole time, this man is calling me. And I guess, I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. I guess he needed to vent and talk to somebody, because he was so in love with this woman that he didn't know what to do. And, when she comes home, what do I do? And da-da-da-da. He just kept going on. And then he also told me the stories that happened in the past where, she would leave the house or wherever they lived, apartment, whatever, leave and wouldn't be back for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then when she comes back, she just looks like hell. I mean, he was telling me everything. And, and it was like, okay, I would put the phone down and on speaker and just let him rant while I'm doing whatever I'm doing in the house. So the next day or the day after, I'm not even sure, it was like we had one more week before she was getting out. He called me up and he was talking and still doing his story time and telling me everything that she put him through and how much he just loves her. And he said to me, I know you say that, being an addict, it's really hard to get clean, and the drugs is just calling you and you just want. He says, I hear all of that. And I believe, some of that. But the real truth is that it's those effing N-words. N-word that got her in trouble. If those N-words didn't come around her, I mean, she even brought an N-word girl to my house and an N-word man to my house. I don't understand it. And she knows I don't like those N-words. I mean, he was going off. I mean, and I looked at the phone like, does he know who he's talking to? I guess not. I wanted to just turn him inside out with my words. But I also wanted Wonder Woman to be okay and be clean. I didn't even, not one time did I even say, can you stop using that word? Because he started getting really familiar with it. And the only reason why I didn't say that is because I knew that if I would have continued, if I would have said something about it, it would have turned into something else, and Wonder Woman would not have gone home. She would have not been going to wherever the hell it was. I can't even remember now. I'm getting hot just thinking about it. And I was saying to myself, wait till this MF sends me the money and she's on the train. I am blah, 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 blah. I almost wanted to go on the train with her just to kick his butt. But, I digress. So anyway, he's saying all those words, and then now he's calling like almost every day before it's time for her to get out of jail, prison, whatever. And sometimes I didn't answer the phone, sometimes I did. Sometimes I didn't answer the phone, sometimes I did. I just couldn't stand him, of him saying all of those words, because every time we talked, it was another N-word. So anyway, can you believe I just lasted that long? Oh my gosh. Somebody called me an N-word at Burger King. I was young. And I jumped over the counter. So that should give you an idea. But anyway, where was I at? Anyway, she's coming home now. Now he's sending me all of the money and I'm going to go shopping and all that stuff for her. I got her a new outfit with all his money. A new outfit, a whole bunch of like lunch meat and bread and a lot of juices and waters. Bought her ticket, she was getting out the next day. Everybody was so excited. We celebrated in prison or jail, whatever it is, like saying our goodbyes and everything. And so I called him up, let him know all of the dates, the times, everything. And we were just, I was ecstatic, and he was ecstatic, but also nervous as well because of what he'd been through. So she gets out of prison. I come pick her up because I'm going to take her directly to the train station. So we're sitting there and just waiting for the train, and we're talking and laughing, and she's like, I can't believe I'm out and I'm going home. And she promised me she was going to meet, she's going to go to meetings, and she has my phone number, and we're just happy and all that stuff. And she gets on the train, and when she gets on the train, I'm waving by like it's some kind of TV. I'm like, bye, Wonder Woman. And it was just absolutely wonderful. So I walked away, and I walked away from that train. Just my heart was just open, because she was getting ready to get clean, and she was gonna start a new life, and I was just so happy for her. So, and I think it was gonna take like almost 24 hours to get wherever she was going. It was out east. So I think it was somewhere like in New York or something like that. I don't remember. But anyway, the next day, or was it the day after, I get a call from him. And I'm like, I'm thinking he's getting ready to say, first of all, I'm thinking, okay, he's getting ready to say, she made it, she's here, blah, blah, blah. And I was going to say, let me talk to her. But what I got from him was, she didn't get off the train. I looked everywhere for her. She didn't get off the train. She didn't come. I didn't see her. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? We just did all this stuff. And he says, no, she didn't get off the train, blah, 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 blah. So now I'm worried. She doesn't have a phone, all that kind of stuff. And 2 days later, he calls me to tell me that they found her body. She got off the train like, I don't know, way before she was supposed to. And she went up, got high, or whatever she did, and I don't know, she was murdered, basically. So there is no moral to this story. Well, there probably is, but I got to think about it for a minute, because my heart was broken. It was broken. I mean, we worked with her and many other girls for about, 5-6 months. Hell, some of them, when you go, sometimes you go in there and you're in there for like a couple of years. But my heart was broken. She was murdered, trying to get high or getting high, and it was just absolutely horrible. I can still remember his voice on the phone, just screeching with pain. And you can't, what can you say when a loved one passes away? What can you really say? Like, I'll just be there for you if you need me. Call me anytime. It doesn't matter what time. After all the N-words he said to me, he never knew I was black. He thought I was a white woman, number one. And number two, I just loved him. And I just felt for him. So anyway, there's always one in the family, sometimes two in the family, that need help getting clean or getting sober. There's always one in the family, and you usually see them at barbecues, or that they're your parents, your son, your daughter, your aunt, your uncle. I remember, laughing at my uncle, who was an alcoholic. We used to laugh at him, the way he would talk and fumble and fall down steps, and we used to just laugh. And when I got older, and I became an addict, and then I started getting clean, I found out it wasn't funny. They needed help. He needed help. He needed some kind of help to where he can get sober and live his best life. Because trust and believe, when a person is out there getting high or getting drunk every single day, they're not happy. There's something going on, and it's the hardest thing to do, to get sober or clean. It is the hardest thing. I'm telling you, I tried everything. I was in church praising the Lord, and all I can think of was drugs. I was in church saying hallelujah, and in my mind was thinking drugs. So it's not funny when we are falling down, when we haven't eaten for days or even slept for days. It's not funny. What is funny is when you get to help someone else remember the past, but don't go back. And don't go back, because it's not funny. And then you realize how beautiful and wonderful life is without drugs and drinking. You just know. You just feel it. You just see it. When I was using drugs, everything was in black and white. When I started getting clean, I started seeing color. And I started making friends that were there for me, and I was there for them. But just remember, it's not funny. We need to start helping one another get clean, giving them resources and all kinds of stuff. It's just not funny. My name is Kathy, and I'm an addict. And be free.